dear colleagues and friends. Some of you have been interacting with me in the sales tax department, and we have probably the only department, only commercial taxes department in the country which is doing its computerization work through outsourcing. We have, I'll actually just mention some best practices which we have undertaken, and then as is the theme of the conference, what are we going to do next year, so that or the coming year, and what are the opportunities for your people. So I'll be discussing that. As I said, this is the first BOOR model in the country, and PwC is our project consultant. Mastech, Mr. Desai is sitting here. He's our software developer. ECIL is the one which is providing all the infrastructure. And BOOR here is build, own, operate, and replenish. And this is the year of replenishment actually. The 5th year has been completed and the 6th has started. Payments are all on transaction basis, which were initially started on a contract basis. And they have to adhere to SLAs. These are the common parlance words which you people use normally. On turnaround time, system uptime, and accuracy of data entry. If you see in the last slide, the last line was data entry. Originally the project was given for data entry, and we found so many problems. In fact, NSDL is the organization which is doing for income tax department, and the other day I was talking to Koshi, who had been there, and he said we had reached a success of about 95% or something of data accuracy. The 95% means a very, very large number is getting wrong information, wrong returns, wrong this. So 3 years back we took a conscious call and said we are going in for electronic returns. So ours is the first state which is now 100% electronic returns for the last 3 years. Everybody is filing an electronic return. There are 6 lakh dealers. Here we don't call them assessee, we call them dealers. So all of them are filing electronic returns. All of them are making electronic payments. All the applications which they submit to us, for example, for refunds, is an electronic application which they submit. Then CST declaration for all interstate transactions, they have to collect a declaration. That declaration also is electronically they submit, and it's sent to them by registered post. I will come to what we are doing in the coming year by making that also electronic. The last point here is about the audit reports. This is also some of the other things other states have picked up and have started this year or the last year, but this thing which nobody has done is, at the end of the year we ask the chartered accountants to audit everyone whose turnover is above 60 lakhs. And along with that, sales and purchase details are also audited, and all this information is uploaded. It's a huge form, 80-page form, along with an annexure, sales and purchases. And initially, everybody said it is not possible. It has been made possible. Successfully, it's being run. And this form, which has come electronically, is the most useful form for the department. I'll come to that, how it has become so useful to us. Some of the other e-services are, application for registration is also electronic. Refunds are given now by the ECS system. It has just started, this one. And along with REDEF, we had tied up for email address. All 6 lakh dealers were given a email address through REDEF. And now the notices, although we are still sending manual notices, but the notice sent to him on the email is also recognized. So all information, etc., which we pass on is through the email now to these people. Inside the department, whatever I have told you till now are the services which have been provided to outside dealers. Now these are the ones which we have done inside. Inside, almost all the branches have been computerized so that the work is paperless. This is another new concept which my colleague here will later on elaborate. He's Ghadge Patil. I think he's got a second session in the afternoon. He will be elaborating this. But we did a pilot project with Government of India where information of all other revenue earning departments, for example, Central Excise, Customs, Service Tax, then the Service Tax, Income Tax. So all these departments are giving information to a central server at CBEC, and VAT information is also collected there, and we are getting MIS reports, plus all this information is available to us here, which is getting analyzed, and these are the internal sources, and we are using it also for analysis and catching and risk-based analysis. Internal information which is available to us is on registration, etc. We are also trying to get octroi inside. Also trying, finally when the UID is complete, what Ajay Bhushan Pandey had explained, then the registration will also be through the UID. We are also trying the state excise department to get in, so that the information is all collected together and everyone knows what is being filed at the other places. These are the 7 parts of Economic Intelligence Unit which has given us outstanding results. Gadge Patil will be explaining it later. We are doing a commodity analysis, we are doing an LTU analysis, interstate transaction analysis. Based on this, we are finalizing where we have to conduct a raid, where we have to do an issue-based audit, where we have to do a full audit, or what. Also some pointers which come in, and we're doing it. One of the projects which I want to mention here is we have finalized a tender with the Capgemini on data warehouse and business intelligence tools, which will also become very, very useful for preparing the next year's budget, and we are able to do a proper statistical analysis. Some of the results of all the computerization which has been done in the department has been that earlier every dealer was going to the bank and submitting a return, making the payment there, standing in queues. All that is over. Then you won't believe it, 3,000 people would come to the department every day for CST declarations. That has been eliminated by making that electronic. Then another point which is very significant is, sir, Mr. Kshatriya, this I wanted to show you that after 7-8, from 8-9, because we have that audit form and we have the sales and purchase details of everyone, so the inspectors' visits to the dealers have been stopped for cross-check completely. So people are happy that the Inspector Raj in Sales Tax Department is over.
What are they doing now?
No, they are doing analysis now. They are sitting and doing analysis. But for cross-checks, their visits have been completely eliminated. Then return filing percentage has gone up from 40% to 90%. Collection has gone up by 20,000 crores in the last 2 years. We are at 35,000 crores 2 years back, and now it's 56,591 crores, which is about 65% of the state government's revenue. Then another major thing, that after we were able to do the cross-check on the computer, and as a result of the Economic Intelligence Unit, we have been able to catch about 1,009 Hawala operators who were giving bogus invoices completely, and we have been able to take statements from them, affidavits that they were only doing that because they had been caught. And there are more than 35,000 beneficiaries of these Hawala operators. 1,000 crore taxes involved in this. Everybody has admitted, beneficiaries have started paying the taxes. 300 crores has been collected from them out of this 1,000, and we expect in the next about 4 or 5 months the balance will also come. SMS and email has also started. I told in the first slide we had PwC, ECIL and Mastec. You know, the major task before me was to coordinate between these guys. So now after the 5 years are over, we are saying a single agency, please, Mastec and ECIL, if you want to work with us, you have to come together. Otherwise, whenever there was a problem, Mastec would say it is ECIL's problem, ECIL would say it is Mastec's problem. So this is the lesson which we have learned. Mr. Desai is aware of this. So this is the advice which I am giving to all my colleague departments, that try and get one vendor, not 4 vendors, not 5 vendors. Otherwise this becomes a major headache. And some other lessons which we have learned are that it's very good if we can set up a working group of all the stakeholders. For every module which we developed, we had a working group of stakeholders where the dealers were there, chartered accountants were there, sales tax practitioners, our officers, some vendors. So a working group looking into everything. And then only, in fact, when that would get completed, then a pilot would first get launched. And pilot is essential, because whenever I am normally a person in a hurry. So whenever I would go and say, let's go ahead and do it without a pilot, first 1 and 2 months were terrible. So then that was a lesson which I learned, that I must do a pilot before so that all the small problems teething problems can be rectified. Then some of the projects were very major, so an awareness campaign all over had to be launched. For example, when we went in for 100% electronic returns, first reaction, even from the department, how can people in Gondia and Gadchiroli file electronic returns? What are you talking about? This can never happen. So we put the whole department for 3 months on this job, that your job is to get the first return. Get every dealer to get a password and to file the first return. So all over the state there were help desks. Now after 3 years, not a single help desk is required. Everybody is going somewhere and getting the return. I am getting all my returns, no help desk is being used. Some of the help desks still exist but not being utilized. This is the lesson which we have learned, that it is only an initial resistance which if the department focuses, it can break that resistance, and then these things can be done. In the Empowered Committee of Finance Ministers, where all state ministers, state finance ministers are there in the country, they are also asking other states to go ahead and do this. Because same question, other commissioners used to say the same thing. How can we do it in Bihar? You can do it in Maharashtra. How can we do it in Bihar? But the same thing, if we can do it in Gadchiroli, Gondia, then it can be done in Bihar. So this is another lesson which we learned. So these are some of the things which I wanted to mention here. Some of the future projects, I will quickly go through them, which we are doing in this present year. We are giving a dealer information system to the dealers, and all their registrations, etc., can now be electronically amended. So this is a system which is under preparation, and in the next 3-4 months it should be ready. Then the most important of this, after the second one happens, dematting of the dealer accounts, there cannot be a hawala operation. That is the system here, and probably, sir, this will probably be the first one in the whole world, not India. Because what we are going to do is, ITC that man cannot claim. The dealer, when he is filing his return, he cannot claim his ITC. Only when somebody else has shown it in his return, made the payment, the computer is going to fill up the ITC. This is dematting of everyone's ledger. This is the system which we are doing in the next 1 year. By this, all this need for cross checks, even by the computer, will go away. Third is electronic CST declarations. As I told you in the beginning, the application is electronic, but even today I am sending it by registered post to that person the CST declaration. That we are stopping. We have tied up with another 9-10 states, and all of us are going in for electronic declarations. It should be over in the next 3 months. Alcohol. We have made alcohol as the first time tax now instead of regular VAT. And we plan to have an online system with all 125 manufacturers so that we get to know where the liquor is going. System audit. This lesson we have learned from Singapore, that in the VAT departments there, what they have done is, instead of doing a business audit, they are doing a system audit. System audit means that our people go and check what their systems are, whether the systems can be manipulated. The computerized systems can be manipulated or not. If they cannot be manipulated, then whatever results the computerized systems are giving are good enough. So that is another thing which we are planning to do. We have also set up a forensic lab, because what was happening, whenever we would go and conduct a raid and get the pen drives and the computers, confiscate them, we had to send them to Kalina. There is only one lab in the whole Maharashtra probably to do all this analysis. and I discussed it with the income tax department. They had a separate lab. They said you can set up your own lab. We took some consultancy from there, and in the next about I think 1 or 2 months, our forensic lab will be ready, where we can use this whatever we have confiscated. The last one we have already started email alerts and SMS also. So these are the various future projects which we are going in for. Thank you.